serious names in competitive Magic. I'm super excited. On the left-hand side of your screen, you'll see Max, and on the right, you'll see Matt. And we have ourselves what looks to be Delver
Something of a
versus...
Delver mirror.
Well, not exactly.
There's no Delver here.
Max is running the Delverless Delver.
Yeah.
Which was
for mid-range.
Yeah, I mean at this point he's running Bonfire of the Damned, so blue, white, red mid-range, and Costa's running the blue, white Delvers. And Matt leads off with, of course, good old Seachrome Coast Ponder. Plays that you won't see after October comes.
That's true, yeah.
But this is one of those sort of classic plays in Standard right now, and it's one of the sort of the defining plays in Standard.
Absolutely.
So I believe he drew a Jataxian probe there, but as a true master, doesn't actually use it immediately. Max does the less sexy Island Ponder.
Yeah, just as effective.
Yeah,
except for when he untaps. Doesn't have white mana.
Well, he doesn't get the flexibility of it per se, but he does still be able to see the same 3 cards. You know, I think just little things like not playing that Jataxian Probe the instant he got it off his Ponder means that Matt does things like win Grand Prix. Like,
yeah, he does.
Because people just don't think about, you know, well, it's free, I just run it, and you don't always run it. Almost feels like, you know, when people write entire articles on how to play Brainstorm, you know?
Yeah.
You can easily screw up a Jataxian Probe just like you can screw up anything else.
Absolutely.
So here we have Matt thinking, he's got that island. I see a Gut Shot, I see a Thought Scour, some Mana Leak action. Is Thought Scour time himself?
And Dismember, and look like Delver.
That's a Delver.
Draws Snapcaster.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Island, and there's a Probe.
Yeah, and he pays a blue for it. He does not want to just play life for it. So we have a Clifftop Retreat, along with a Sun Titan, Sulphur Falls, Bonfire of the Damned, another Sulphur Falls, Gideon, and Blade Splicer.
Yeah. So that is a heck. Besides the Blade Splicer, that's a lot of expensive cards.
Those are very, very not cheap. But Splicer does really hold things on the ground.
Yeah, just
while
until
you can get those big spells
those,
online. But now Matt sort of knows exactly what Max is playing at this point. He's playing blue, white, red. He's got big spells, so he can sort of plan around them, be able to use his leaks as effectively as possible. Only Sun Titan could be able to use a Cavern of Souls to get around it. So I think Matt knows sort of where he's going.
Yeah.
Good old snap into pay 2 life for Jataxian Probe, because Matt is low on lands. It appears that a Seachrome Coast joined Max's hand, and everything else was the same. All right.
Island from Matt.
He ripped the island.
Yeah.
And that's good.
He's got double Gut Shot. I mean, it's going to be nice to, you know, kill the Blade Splicer, but
that Golem still exists and still is a 3/3.
The better half sticks around.
Indeed. So is that a 3rd Gut Shot that was just ripped from Matt? He has 3 in his deck. It looks like he just drew all 3.
Yep.
There is Geist of St. Traff though, and that's a terrific card. I mean, if you wanted to go all in, you can play the Geist and then pay 6 life to kill the Golem. All right, so here is the idea that he's going to make Max block with the Golem, then Gut Shot the Splicer, and then Gut Shot the Golem, and then play the Geist of St. Traff.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the line. In a perfect world, that's going to happen, but
I don't think Max would really. You know what I mean? Like, why not just take? It's just a Snapcaster. It's just 2 damage.
I think he did it though. I'm pretty sure. So 2 damage to the Golem.
Yeah, that was it.
And then he Gut Shots it. He got there.
Yeah. There was no indication, no physical indication from Max, but obviously that's what happened.
Right. He had indicated, at least in verbally.
Yeah. And there's the Geist. So just as you predicted. And that's a nice way to make use of, you know, drawing triple Gut Shot. I guess you just have to.
It's a lot easier to figure out the right plays when you're sitting here.
Yeah. And there's a Snapcaster Mage from Max. He is going to Ponder.
Yeah. So Max Tietze,
invitational winner.
Yeah, invitational champion himself, decides to do the shuffle. Could be light on land, perhaps. Could just be looking for something to answer that Geist.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he's got a Snapcaster, but we know that's not going to be around for very long.
I mean, Matt's going to be able to Gut Shot that and then get in for 6, and then suddenly Max is 2 mana behind the ability to bonfire away the Geist of St. Traff. So otherwise he'll have to use Gideon, and Gideon can hold it off for a turn, but Gideon can't kill the Geist, and will be knocked down to 2. So that is unfortunate.
Yeah, so, I mean, because of what we saw in Max's hand, 5-drop, 6-drop, X cost, you know, like he really...
I mean, he has land. I recall the Clifftop Retreat was in there, so...
Oh, yeah.
And I think another Sulphur Falls was, and there's the Seachrome Coast. So he's getting there, but I think Matt has a really good chance at this point to just sort of get the tempo in his favor. And now he has the ability to, gut shot, the Snapcaster, play the extra land, equip the Pike.
And he's got a mana leak still from, I think, very beginning of the game.
Yeah, so
ready for the first big spell that Max decides to try to resolve.
Right.
Without a Cavern of Souls.
Yeah, exactly. And Matt, knows that Gideon is probably the most likely culprit, and instead of equipping the Pike, he can now just mana leak that, then equip the Pike, and represent mana leak even if he doesn't have it.
Right.
All right.
So
Max is thinking.
Now we know he's got another Sulphur Falls and that Clifftop Retreat. Those were still there. We know he has Sun Titan, Gideon, Bonfire. That's 5 cards out of his hand. There's the Bonfire and the second Sulphur Falls, and that gets mana leaked.
Yeah, the last card in Matt's hand. Pretty decent rip.
Draws a Thought Scour, casts it immediately on himself, knocks a land and a Ponder into the yard.
That's correct.
And didn't see what he drew, though.
No, but when you see a player running through their graveyard like that, there's a few things that they're doing, and I think Max just scooped it up. Wow.
Yeah.
Really? I mean, I guess it would be large enough to kill the Gideon, and obviously, Max is not going to be resolving 6-drops, while Matt's smashing him for that much damage.
Yeah, I mean, Max was kind of struggling for a way to interact most of that game. All he really had was Blade Splicer.
Yeah.
He played a Snapcaster to try to dig, but it wasn't enough. And Costa was able to take advantage of that kind of slowish draw from Max.
Oh. Wow, the Pike was actually lethal.
Oh, wow, okay.
That's incredible. 9
I didn't realize
instants and or sorceries in the graveyard.
Yeah, that was the Thought Scour. Oh, I hit Ponder. That's it. Like you're
pretty
you're
sure
dead.
I would define that as a nut draw. And this is a nut draw, quote unquote, that he drew 3 gut shots. I mean,
yeah, that seemed. I was like, oh, that's a really rough start. 3 gut shots against a deck that really doesn't care about gut shots. But
this is kind of difficult.
He made him care about gut shots.
Yeah, and those
I'm
3
gonna make a creature
were perfect for what he wanted to do. He made Max play exactly how I wanted him to.
Yeah.
Block my Snapcaster, and if Max had just taken 2 damage, that game would have went in an entirely different direction.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like, from Max's side of the board, he sees somebody attacking into a 3/3 with a 2/1, and you're like, obviously I got to call his bluff, right?
Yeah.
Thanks. That's exactly what I wanted you to do.
Wow. So that was some terrific magic. Over here on the sideboard for Mr. Costa, we have a couple of Dissipates, we have a Negate, 3 Celestial Purge, an Oblivion Ring, a Dismember, 1 Mental Misstep, 2 Timely Reinforcements, 2 Phantasmal Images, and 2 Talrand Sky Summoners. What do we have over for Tietze?
Max Tietze has 2 Dissipate, 2 Tameo, 1 Consecrated Sphinx, a Negate, a Timely Reinforcements, a Combust, 1 additional Cavern of Souls, because he's got 2 in the main, 2 Celestial Purge, 1 Divine Offering, 1 Day of Judgment, and 2 Hero of Bladehold. So
yeah. So for me, I'm always fascinated, and I've seen other commentators do this as well, who love the scribbles that you can only see on the deck list. So we see that Timely Reinforcements probably used to be a 2 or a 3.
Yeah.
And went down to 1. And it appears there used to be a Whip Flare in there.
Right, and he decided on Day of Judgment.
But instead, I'll just Wrath everything.
I'd rather just Wrath.
I'm way happier Wrathing everything than I am anything else. But for this matchup, it feels like, Talrand's going to be pretty good for Costa.
Yeah.
With the idea of using all of these free Phyrexian mana spells, you're going to get free Drakes out of it. I'm not sure if he wants to bring in more Negates or Dissipates in order to stop the bonfires.
Right. That's what I would be afraid of, but I think,
Right. I mean, that bonfire was clutch.
Absolutely.
If his last card had not been a mana leak, he wouldn't have won that game outright, but it was, and he did. But do you feel like a Cavern of Souls is in Max's future?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, I'm going to switch these around because I know that's how they were sitting.
Oh, I see.
It's weird how I have to visualize it that way. Yeah, I think. I think if I'm Costa, I want at least a negate.
Okay.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. We'll mention that.
So we have dissipates, we have negates. It turns out that Max Tietze was working with Rudy Brixta, who we have a blue-white-red mid-range deck tech up on Star City Games right now. If you wanted to go see it for our coverage, and convince Max to switch out the whip flares for the Day of Judgment.
Yeah. So that's the scribble.
Absolutely,
the story of the scribble.
The explanation of scribbling. But it does make a lot more sense that it's okay to wait another turn or two for your mana, because with the ability to run white versus just being run black, or just being run red versus other colors,
right?
Day of Judgment just solves all the problems versus like almost all the problems.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and think cards like Restoration Angel seeing so much play. Like, what's a whip flare gonna do? You need to cast 2 whip flares. Like, really? I mean, or triple gut shot plus somebody blocks.
Right.
I mean,
or gut shot plus whip flare. Like, all of a sudden you're sort of 2 for 1-ing yourself in order to remove a single card, where you can just sort of 1 for 4 them. With something like a Day of Judgment, which is what happens frequently. Max does have a couple of Hero Bladehold who I really, really like right now, but I think you have to sort of transpose that against a very tempo-oriented deck like Matt's. If he gets Delver and then Restoration Angel and Delvers and Angel start working for 3 damage in the air, Hero is sweet, but may come down a little low, maybe mana leaked, or it may just not be fast enough. I'm not sort of sure. Max really has the ability to go super, super control here.
I think that's what he needs to do. I think that's going to give him the best chance, because he's got a way better end game. He just needs to get there.
Right. I mean, he can bring in the Day. He can bring in Tamio.
Yeah.
If he wanted to, or even Consecrated Sphinx. I mean, if you're going big game.
Oh yeah, I would think if he's going to do the control thing, he's going to do the Consecrated Sphinx.
He makes Matt use the mana leaks and makes him use whatever counter magic he has, and then just goes like Consecrated Sphinx.
Yeah.
I just win this game.
Or just Cavern, Sphinx.
Yeah.
Consecrated Sphinx.
Absolutely. Which is what I would love to do. Or Cavern on Hero, because he is on the play.
Yeah,
so
that's true, yeah.
Turn 4, Hero is super sweet against the Delver deck, that if they don't have their Dismembers, or if they don't have, block with 3 power and gut shot or whatever it is, can be in trouble. But, they could be sort of running the counter wars, you know what I mean? They can both bring in Dissipates, they can both bring in Negates. They can. We have a Cavern of Souls on Max's side, but we have Talran sort of on Costa's side, so he doesn't have to commit so much to the board and still get value out of it. Because he's still going to be using the gut shots, and he might as well get a 2/2 Drake at it. Drake.
Right. Only 19 lands in Costa's deck, so you do have to worry about putting in 4 drops. I mean, I said that. I think Gindy was playing 17 lands or something like that, or 17 or 18. I think it may have been 17. Yeah, and then he had like triple Restoration Angel in his hand and couldn't draw a 3rd land, and eventually he got to the 4th land and started Restoration Angel. But yeah, it's like that's a little scary. That's greedy, I guess is one way to put it. I'd be really scared to.
It just feels greedy. I think I think it was Yuya Watanabe who had won the Grand Prix with I think it was 19 lands.
I think it was 19, and that was crazy.
That was crazy. Like, you hadn't seen, I mean, even 20 and 40 spells, since God knows when, let alone winning a Grand Prix with it.
Yeah.
But if you get enough cards that just say pay 2 life, draw a card, you're running 56 cards, sorta. I mean, this is sort of the same argument that came up when Street Wraith was spoiled. They're like, whoa, free cycling.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to run this card just so they can run 56 cards. Like, no.
Wasn't Mishra's Bauble pretty similar to that? Like, I feel like it was like, I can't remember specifically, but
yeah, it was Mishra's
like
Bauble.
0 mana cost cantrip.
Yep, I believe that was reprinted in Cold Snap, and people were all excited about that one. And what did see some play, as I recall. Do we feel like the Max Tietze sideboard is going to be bringing in a Divine Offering? Because that pike is pretty dangerous.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Would Max, like, obviously, I think just to take care of the pike, it may just be worth it for that.
Sure.
It's only a 1/of, right? Yeah. So I don't feel like it's too much of a liability as a one of that it's going to get, if it gets stuck in his hand, if Costa sided out the pikes or just never sees one, it's not the worst thing, it's just one card.
So we start off here with Max playing his Seachrome Coast and Matt playing Island Ponder into an Insta-Shuffle. I didn't see exactly what it was. I think it was 3 spells, and I believe Matt's probably looking for some lands.
Yeah.
And in a deck that we just showed that was running so few of them, the man needs some lands.
Yeah,
and
he just top decks
one
like a boss.
Like a champion. Look at that hand.
Double mana leak.
Well, when your hand is double mana leak, double ponder, and 1 land, and Delver, and he obviously rips his 3rd land because,
2 Seachrome Coasts consecutively, right? Because 2nd and 3rd lands, and then he won't see another Seachrome Coast for the rest of the game because they would come into play tap, right?
Of course. So Matt plays the control role and decides not to run out the Delver, but instead sit back on his 2 mana leaks. Max is thinking hard, decides to run out the Blade Splicer, could run it right into a mana leak,
and he does. I don't think Max is too surprised about that either.
So is that a Talrand? I see one.
He did draw Talrand that turn, but no 4th land just yet.
No 4th land, but I mean, Delver with mana leak backup's pretty sweet.
It's fine, yeah.
And in a deck with this incredible amount of instants and sorceries, Ponder is a sorcery. I was about to say all instants. Not true.
Bonfire, was that off the top?
Looks like it was off the top. It could be, no, it could be just be for 1.
Yeah.
He's paying retail.
Which is just fine, because it kind of does the same thing.
And Matt's letting it resolve, I think, ultimately because, there's bigger fish to fry in the world of mana leaking.
Right, it's just a removal spell for Delver, really. And 1 life point, yeah.
So he keeps Jataxian Probe Island, and pays 2 life to look at Max's hand, which includes a Restoration Angel.
There's that Divine Offering and a Dismember.
Wow. There you go. So the Divine Offering, really should do some work here in terms of letting Matt win the game quickly, or rather not letting him win it quickly with the Pike, which is what he did last game.
Now, what we don't know for sure is whether or not the Pikes even stayed in.
True.
But we haven't seen any evidence of one yet.
Mm-hmm. So here's our classic 3-mana Ponder Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah, and we see Misstep. Was it a full art mana leak? Oh, it was full art Negate, I think.
Ah.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
So
it's Misstep, Negate, and land.
Wow. He almost feels like he has too much land at this point.
Yeah, 5 land in a deck that runs 19. He's drawn a quarter of his land.
So he has Misstep, and then he's going to draw an island next, and then he's going to draw the Negate. There's a Restoration Angel that is ran out at sorcery speed, which will allow Matt to simply Vapor Snag if he wants to. Now he can Talrand Vapor Snag, which is pretty sweet.
Yep.
Which looks like what he's going to be doing, because that's what I would like to be doing.
Yeah, why not?
That's terrific. But he's going to wait, as all good
no
players do.
No reason to do it. Yeah, no reason to do it at this point, unless he wants to play around a counter spell. But
well, it'll also let him at end of turn, remove a blocker and create a threat all at one spell. So I feel like Max is I don't want to say feeling the pressure, but I would say he's not in the best position right here. Sort of scrambling around for something, running out the Angel at sorcery speed, bonfiring for 1 just to kill the Delver. He's trying his best to slow Matt down, and that's not actually happening.
Yeah, so it looks like Dismember on the Talrand from Max,
which will certainly prompt the Vapor Snag on the Restoration Angel. And Matt so wishes he could pay 2 life for Mental Misstep that.
Yeah.
I mean, he only paid 1 mana for it.
Right.
Come on.
Why not? I wonder if the decision here is maybe what he wants to Vapor Snag. Yeah, because I was thinking he could just Vapor Snag his Talrand.
Yeah. And Matt still
gets the Drake.
Or Max, rather, still loses 4 life. Still gets the Drake.
Yeah, and what was that? That was a Combust.
Oh, wow.
So, well,
Talrand was dying.
Yeah, one way or another.
Dying.
Combust in response to the Vapor Snag. But Matt is still left with a Drake.
True.
After the dust settles. So.
And Max 2 for 1 just to kill that Talrand because that guy absolutely takes over games. Like right now, if Talrand was on the board, I'm curious if it was actually in Matt's best interest to Jataxian Probe and then Mental Misstep his own Jataxian Probe.
Right, just to get a couple of Drakes.
Exactly. So here we go. Max is trying to figure out a way around these current threats. Restoration Angel is holding back the Drake, and Snapcaster is just hanging out, being the best creature ever. Matt has plenty of counter magic. I mean, we're talking Mental Misstep and Negate and Mana.
He has got the three main counter spells, I think, in Standard. The only thing he's missing is Dissipate, you know?
Absolutely. And he's just drawing lands. He's just waiting for something to pop up. If it's, I think at this point Matt wants the Pike to show up.
Yeah.
Because now he has the ability to play Pike, equip Pike, and then negate whatever it is, and then obviously negate the Divine Offer that he knows Max has.
Yeah. But it's land, and
he just drew a Snapcaster Mage though.
That could help things along a bit. He can. He's probably got a Ponder in there. I know he's a Snapcaster pondered already, so I don't know if he has a second Ponder in there.
Yeah, I don't think so, but he certainly could. Always Snapcaster or Jataxian Probe.
Right, just to get a card deeper.
Right.
And
play Snapcaster.
Max is going to respond, or going to take a look at Matt's graveyard before he lets that Snapcaster resolve. And it looks like Vapor Snag is where he goes. So snag on your Angel.
I mean, we could be running the straight tempo plays at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to knock him to 10 here if Max doesn't have an answer.
Right. Well, if he runs back out the Angel, Matt has another Vapor Snag, doesn't he? Or does he just have the Mana Leak? It depends on what that cavern was set to.
Yeah.
The cavern was set to human, which means that Angel can absolutely be countered.
Yeah.
So
and there's the Pike.
Oh, look at that.
He's taking it now. He just top decked Ponder this turn, and then...
So he has Pike on top. He has Thought Scour, so he doesn't have to draw that land, which is the third from the, or now the second from the bottom, or second from the top. Swings in for 6. Max is probably wishing he had set that on Angel right now.
So Snapcaster from Max.
Snapcaster with Mana Leak mana available. And at this point, I guess he dismembers. Combust targeting
Combust on the Drake. I mean, did he have a second dismember, or you just was thinking Snapcaster dismember?
Right, that's what I was thinking. He might have set the dismember to be flashback, but not necessarily. Trade snaps.
Yeah, I forgot about the Combust. Actually, that seems much better than the dismember.
Yeah, absolutely.
Taking out a 2-power dude. So he trades a Snapcaster for a Snapcaster and manages to get rid of the Drake. So just leaving Costa with a Snapcaster.
Absolutely.
But Costa has
the big
Pike.
threat, because that Pike is going to do some serious damage. And Max is trying his best to figure out a way to stop this tempo that Matt has controlled the entire game. Even Matt sort of started on the control path. He began with, I have a bunch of Mana Leaks and I'm just going to sit back here and wait. And then he just one spell after another began to roll the tide his way, and now Max is just trying to stop it.
Yeah. If anybody knows how to play Blue-White Delver, it's Matt Costa.
Indeed. He has played it more or less this entire, ever since it's been legal.
Yeah, I
can't
even imagine him with another deck.
Yeah.
And, okay, so Divine Offering from Max Tietze.
And that's a negate.
Sees a negate.
No thanks. And Mana Leak the negate, which will get Mana Leaked.
Mana Leak your Mana Leak.
So not only did he stop Max from destroying that, but he also gave it +2/+0.
Yeah.
In terms of its power.
And took 2 cards from Max.
Exactly.
Thought Scour.
So Thought Scour knows when land and
Geist. Okay, so no bonus besides the Thought Scour.
And obviously rips the Snapcaster Mage. Wow.
5,
so now he's going to be able to...
7, 8. I think that's an 8.
Sure.
+8 Pike here.
Wow. So that's 10 coming in?
I believe so, if I counted right. I was trying to catch it.
Right. So now Matt has the option of Snapcaster Ponder, but more likely he'll just Snapcaster Negate to make sure that nothing happens here.
Yeah. A Vapor Snag. And Mental Misstep from Costa.
Mental Misstep is terrific. I mean, I know it sort of destroyed Legacy in a sad way for like 3 or 4 months, or whatever it was.
It changed Legacy.
Oh, it was sad. Goblins ran Mental Misstep, for God's sake.
That's fair.
But man, it does some awesome work in Standard. It's actually just a sweet trump. I love it. So Max is at 2, trying to figure out how he's going to not lose this game at this point. That's all he wants to do, is kill the stupid Snapcaster and not lose.
That's all. He's
has,
a 2. All he wants to do is not lose.
Exactly. He has the angel. But that angel even ran out at sorcery speed, which is what he's doing now, is just going to chump block and is not going to be able to do anything else.
Matt could snapcast. I was going to say he could just snapcaster Mana Leak, right? Or snapcaster.
Snag, you know?
He's thinking.
Okay.
Snapcaster Thought Scour.
I have a feeling he thought there was a snag in there, but there might not have been.
And he hits Mana Leak, Mana Leak, and
But I mean, regardless,
Synchro.
it's two power guy, you know, one super power guy and one other 2-power guy, and just win.
Yeah, that's it. Matt Costa defeats Max Tietze 2-0 here in round 8 of the StarCityGames.com Open Series in DC.
Oh
that was a fast round. I mean, half the round is still left.
Talk about a terrifically played Delver match.
Yeah,
wow.
I really enjoyed watching.
That guy is a professional, actual
Delver,
professional. Yeah. When you see someone who's able to sort of wheel Delver in a way that he can and always sort of know what the right plays generally are, I mean, I just love that. I love the ability, particularly you see this a lot at the high levels of the Open Series, at the high levels, of course, of the Pro Tour, where they just always make the right decisions.
Yeah, it seems that way, yeah.
You know,